All right, so the Amazing Spider-Man, our boy Peter is getting another event, another Spidey event. So let's take a look at this here. Thanks to majorspoilers.com for putting this short list together. And yeah, I just wanted to dive into this new event, talk about it for a second, and give some thoughts and how hype or not hype I am for this event. So, anyways, let's get into it. A gang war has erupted in the Marvel Universe. Spinning out of Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr.'s hit run, Amazing Spider-Man, gang war will be a war erupt between gang lords of New York, causing chaos through the Big Apple, villains fighting villains, criminals fighting criminals, Hobgoblin, Mr. Negative, the Owl, Shotgun, Diamondback Aim, and Hydra, plus more, battle against each other for New York supremacy. For Peter, going out on patrol isn't enough. He declares his own war on supercrime. It's General Spidey at the helm, leading a group of heroes including Miles, She-Hulk, Daredevil, Spider-Woman. Their goal to take down the super gangs in under 48 hours. But what does Mayor Luke Cage and the city's strong anti-vigilante laws say about this? Will Jackpot gamble on getting involved? And Shang-Chi a friend or foe? The better to figure it out before two classic villains make their game-changing return. Big things are brewing, and the battles will spill over into the pages of both Amazing Spider-Man and Miles Morales, as well as all new limited series launching this November and December. Read on to learn about this prelude issue dubbed Gang War First Strike and its opening installment of Gang War. All right, so another event. I have not been shy about my feelings on Marvel's events, especially compared to DC, as we are currently in the thralls of night terrors at the moment. So, looks like this event kicks off in ASM 37, or at least First Strike, but this is ASM 37. I believe there's a whole other First Strike book coming out, so it's weird that they are titled the same. Not loving that. So we do get the return of Wreck Rap, which is kind of exciting. Good thing that he wasn't just a throwaway character and maybe more of a staple that we actually got out of Dark Web. So that's something positive. ASM 38, and here we are. Amazing Spider-Man Gang War First Strike #1. So this is the prelude for the event. I guess it comes third. I guess ASM is going to set it up in these two issues. We're going to move to First Strike here. New villain introduced in 38. I guess Repo. Really cool villain. It freaks me out that their hands have hands coming off of them. So that's kind of a cool villain. So we'll see if they stick or not. The last villain that Marvel introduced for Spider-Man was Hallows Eve, which actually is one that has stuck around. I mean, she has good character design, good kit. Good to see that she stuck around. So we will see if Repo also managed to stick the landing. So along with the ASM and Miles run, we are also getting a Luke Cage Gang War 4-part miniseries, a Spider-Woman miniseries 1 through 4. It starts off, I guess, Miles' involvement is going to come in his 12th issue. 39. I do love this cover. I love that they're all using like gang style weapons. This is a fun cover, definitely. Miles 13. Daredevil 1 of 4. Miles 14. And Deadly Hangs of Kung Fu, Gang War 1 through 3. All right, so this is kind of the kickoff of it. In total, there are going to be 29 books in total in this crossover in order to get the full picture if you buy all the miniseries as well as the regular runs of ASM and Miles Morales. Okay, so 29, that is a hefty number for a crossover, I think. While I'm not sure the numbers on Night Terrors, it feels that Night Terrors you can just follow the heroes you want to follow through it. And it doesn't feel like so far there is a lot of solid crossover between them, which I appreciate because I would hate to have to buy Night Terrors along with the regular run or anything, which we won't have to do that for ASM and Miles, which are the only two books that I'm reading, obviously, because the rest of these have not come out yet. I did total it at $5 a comic to get the entire Gang War thing. It will be about $145 over 2 months, which is quite a bit considering that is just this event. I am unsure how I feel about it. Marvel has continually given me a sour taste in my mouth when it comes to these crossovers with throwing these mini series into it. As far as the Gang War First Strike, I assume there will be a Gang War standalone title to help stitch all of these different tie-ins together, but I'm not sure. Let me actually look that up before I... Okay, so there will be no Gang War issue. So it's going to be just the Gang War First Strike and the ongoings that we have. I like the idea behind this, actually. I like that it is very street level event, which is nice because I feel like so many events, especially in Marvel, that we've gotten recently at least, have been, this is going to change the fabric of the Marvel universe. This event is a must read because of the lasting ramifications through everything, which, as we know, is not true ever. Rec Rap coming back, nice to see. Maybe he'll get his own book one day. I doubt that, but maybe. I mean, it's good that he's stuck around. So I don't know how many of these tie-ins I'm going to get. The only tie-in that interests me is Spiderwoman. Just to get a little Jessica Drew in our lives. We haven't had that for a while, so that is kind of fun. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold just yet on this Gang War thing. This Luke Cage cover is super dope, though. And I do like that he just has like a parking meter to fight with. That's kind of fun. Very, again, street level type villainy. So yeah, that's the Gang War event. Now, I will say that it said that they better figure it out before two classic villains make a game-changing return. I almost think that the two villains, the classic ones that are making a big return, as with the ongoing events in ASM right now, I'm thinking this is where, at the end of this, we will get Green Goblin back in full form, and Norman Osborn will no longer be the Gold Goblin, but he will slip into madness at some point, thanks to Dr. Ock. Doc Ock, and the events that we're going through right now. The catalyst for this event, how we're going to get here, even though this is at 37 when it starts, I think maybe issue 31 or so is the wedding that involves Kingpin. And not mentioned here, but I read in a different website that Kingpin is getting taken out. He's going to be killed off for now. So I assume that is the power vacuum that they're going to leverage, and why all these tiny other Marvel villains are trying to claim that power as the fall of Kingpin happens, which is a good concept. I think it'll be interesting to see how they lead up to it. I'm hoping they start leading into it, like I said, with the Kingpin wedding that is coming up. That would be a good tie-in, depending on who is getting married. We still don't know that. That has been kept a secret. So I wonder who it would be that would cause somebody to want to take out Kingpin, causing the power vacuum and resulting in this gang war. Questions to ask. We'll see as more comes out, but I just wanted to take a second to kind of preview this list of what's going to be coming in Gang War. Again, with these tie-ins, and I hate that Marvel does this with these tie-ins, because especially after reading Dark Web, it is just tough. It's a tough sell For example, the Miss Marvel Dark Web tie-in was completely pointless. There was no real reason for it. It didn't add any value to the story as a whole. But we go to Carnage Reigns, and all through those tie-ins, even though it was scattered through 3 different books, each book felt like they had some weight to it. The Red Goblin probably the least, but at least it showed how he has come to find out about Carnage and what he was up to, and gets him in the fray. So while the less impactful issue, it still had enough meat in it, I think, to carry or convince readers to pick up that one issue as well. I can't see myself buying all these gang war tie-ins. Does Shang-Chi have an ongoing right now? I'm not sure. If he does, it would almost be nicer to just fold it into that with an issue or two, as opposed to doing a whole 3-issue miniseries separate from that. Daredevil, I know, has an ongoing. It would be nice to see it just tie in from that, as opposed to doing this whole Daredevil Gang War 1 through 4. That way, people that are just reading the main run, I think, would be more likely to pick up some of these crossover tie-ins because you're already reading Daredevil. So you're not like having to buy Daredevil, and now you need to also buy Daredevil Gang War 1 through 4. But I spelled out my thoughts pretty well on that, I think, in the last little bit with Night Terrors and how I think these events should run. So we will see. We will see. The fact that Miles is involved and Cody Ziegler is going to be writing through this gives me hope, because that is one of the best books, probably the best book Marvel has coming out right now, I think. So at least you have a big gun in there. And we see in 13, where it looks like we'll still be dealing with the Hobgoblin through this. And the Hobgoblin will be the villain, I think, starting in maybe the next Miles Morales. So should have a little bit of build up to it, which is good to see. Some of these events, I feel like, come on so abrupt without any build up that we then just, you're in it and you have to buy just these straight listing comics for these events. So yeah, Spider-Man Gang War. We will see what information we get as we get closer, and I again can't wait to see how they handle this Kingpin wedding and what fallout we get after that. So yeah, something to look forward to. Again, I like that it's street level, but we will see.